Speaker was an up-and-coming comedian when he wowed this dinner in 1987. Now he's the host of the nation's premier comedian showcase. From NBC's Tonight Show, Jay Leno.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. President. That was a fine, fine speech, although Al Gore says he would have handled it differently. But I thought... Because you all sense the sadness that President Clinton feels about leaving the White House. Believe me, Mr. President, there was no one sadder than I am that you're leaving. You bought my house. You bought my car. Everything I have, I owe to you. I couldn't have done it without you. I want to say a special hello also to the wife of the most powerful man in the world, Andrea Mitchell. Andrea Mitchell, where are you? Andrea Mitchell, ladies and gentlemen. Andrea Mitchell dated Alan Greenspan for 12 years before he married him. See, some people do anything to get a story, ladies and gentlemen. That is a reporter. What is home like for them? You know, when he wakes up in a bad mood, does she run to the phone, call a broker, look, sell. Just sell everything, damn it. I don't know what the hell's wrong with them. Just sell. And of course, it's an honor, obviously, to be here tonight with the press and, of course, the president. And by the way, the First Lady, don't worry about leaving a tip. I have taken care of that for you. So that will never happen again. It's all been done already. Those oversights can often happen. Of course, we have 7 cast members from West Wing. That's West Wing, the favorite show of the Democrats. Every Democrat loves that show. But George Bush says no. He says he's going to watch tomorrow night the NBC miniseries, the 70s. Not because it's a better show. It's just he doesn't remember it, and it'll be a learning experience for him. And to bring back some issues. You know, I look out at all these press people. What do we got, 700 of them? And I wonder, who the hell is watching Elian, huh? What is going on there? A lot of controversy. Was the government right? Was the government wrong? 60% feel the government did the right thing in taking the boy. 35%, no, they disagree. But 98% of the people want to know, what the hell was that creepy fisherman doing in the closet at 5 o'clock in the morning, huh? Who is that guy? He's like the Latino Cato Kalin. Where did he come from? What does he do? You see, I blame the father. The father handled this all wrong. The father should have come to our American legal system from the beginning. He should have flown to Miami, walked up to the house, slipped on the front stairs, sued the Gonzaleses, got the house, get them evicted, sell the house, go back to Cuba, the richest guy on the island. That's the American way. That's the American way. And one of the things I most admire about President Clinton, he's the only president I ever heard of that went back to his high school reunion. To me, that is very cool. To me, that is the only reason I would want to be president, just so I could go back to my high school reunion. Just to walk up to that snotty cheerleader and go, oh, still too busy for the leader of the free world? Hey, how's your husband's Amway franchise? How's that working out? See, that is very cool. And of course, President Clinton had some wonderful, wonderful international triumphs, such as bringing the Arabs and the Israelis together. Remember that day in the Rose Garden? Remember when they were all in step? I have never seen anything. Show that footage. Take a look. Tell you something. You know, the media loves to delve into the lives of our presidents, the private lives of our presidents. Right, there's an autobiography out right now that says Abraham Lincoln may have been gay. Have you seen the story? You know what I'm talking about? It says Abraham Lincoln may have been gay. You see that? A guy goes to the theater one time, and right away, he's got to be gay. But you know, see, some politicians are immune to this kind of scrutiny. Like Madeleine Albright. How does she get away with it? Remember that little incident with the Italian foreign minister? Why didn't you people in the press go after her for that? Take a look. You see what I'm talking about. Take a look.
We are operating to try to bring to an early end this conflict that is so painful for everybody. Ooh. Well, thank you very much.
press then. And God bless President Clinton always managed to outlast his critics, like Ken Starr. Remember how arrogant Ken Starr was. Remember when he was investigated? Remember when he was questioned, how arrogant he was during that investigation? Take a look.
There's no smoking allowed in the building, Mr. Starr.
What are you going to do? Arrest me?
And of course, like everybody else in the press, very excited about this upcoming election, huh? Gore versus Bush, the thriller in vanilla, ladies and gentlemen. Paper or plastic, what do you want? Harvard man versus a Yale man. See, in this country, any preppy can grow up to be president of the United States. This is going to turn into a real polo match come November. You watch. You watch. See, I often wonder about some of the people that fell out early. You know, some of the people that lost the prime, like Elizabeth Dole. Like I heard a lot of you press people say, oh, she's not tough enough. She wasn't tough enough to be president. Not tough. This is a woman who's seen Bob Dole naked, okay? Huh? You want to talk tough. Put that visual in your mind for just a sec. Of course, the big question, who's going to be the vice presidential nominee for the Republicans? Now, Elizabeth Dole says she wants the job, but I believe it was on Meet the Press with Tim Russert. Bob Dole thought, he said, John McCain or Christine Whitman might be a good choice. Huh? Get the feeling Bob won't be needing a refill on that Viagra prescription anytime soon, huh? And what's that all about? One day you're almost president, the next day you have erectile dysfunction. How does that work? You may be sadder about leaving office than you thought. Yeah, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. But God bless Bob Dole. Have you seen his you've seen Bob Dole's latest Viagra commercial? Take a look. I'm going to miss a lot of the guys. Steve Forbes. I love Steve Forbes. I liked his economic plan. It was called Inheritance. And Steve Forbes said he learned a lot in Iowa. For example, he was thrilled to find out there were other parts of the cow besides the filet mignon. And of course, everybody's an outsider now. You know, Gore has moved his campaign headquarters to Nashville. Bush, of course, he's down there in Texas. Why does everybody want to be an outsider? Why is Washington the only place in the world where lack of experience is considered an advantage? I mean, if you're in the hospital, a guy come up to you and go, listen, I've never been in medical school. I've never even seen ER. But if you just let me try this liver transplant, I know I can do it. And Gary Bauer, of course, Gary Bauer out there campaigning on an anti-gay platform, which, of course, fell apart after that pancake breakfast. Remember that little incident in New Hampshire? Remember what happened? Show what happened behind the scenes. You'll see why. Take a look. Of course, Orrin Hatch. Orrin Hatch had a great campaign slogan, didn't he? I don't know who the hell I am either. That didn't have much, no. Bill Bradley, what was his? Bradley, the other white guy. Yeah, that didn't work. And of course, his heart problems. Bradley's campaign kept saying his heart condition was nothing serious. They had to jolt his heart back into rhythm. Yeah. See, what the doctor said was apparently Bill Bradley is so boring that his heart would fall asleep. I have to go in and give him a shot, yeah. But actually, one of the most talked about political ads of the past year was one where Michael Jordan endorsed Bill Bradley, and I thought it was a very credible ad until 2 minutes later I saw another ad where Michael Jordan was talking to Elmer Fudd and Bugs Bunny, and then I went, oh, not very much. And of course, Alan Keyes, God bless him, he's still out there, isn't he? Alan Keyes still running, going state. Who thought the Republicans would one day be the party of the angry black man, huh? How about that? Who saw that coming? And of course, Donald Trump, that was my favorite, Donald Trump running for president. You know, he once said in an interview, people just want to be told the truth. And he's the type of guy, the type of straight shooter that people would vote for. Really? A real estate developer who's a casino owner who wants to be a politician? Isn't that pretty much the triple crown of lying right there? Huh? What is that? Why don't you become a used car dealer too while you're at it? See, I wish Trump would have run. You know, Trump was the only candidate that never admitted to experimenting with drugs. He said he never, ever did drugs. But actually, Trump did say he came close to doing cocaine one time. He said, but when he leaned over and he saw his reflection in that mirror, he realized it doesn't get any better than this. And as you know, Pat Buchanan, he left the Republican Party. Apparently all that talk about compassion scared him away. Yeah. Of course, George W. Bush, calling himself the compassionate conservative. Really? You know, this guy's fried so many people. Instead of governor, they should be calling him the colonel. Don't they? Please vote by the number of the joke. Of course, Bush says he's trying to attract more people to the Republican Party. He says he wants to create a big tent, which is also the Republicans' policy on housing for the poor. Just get a big tent. You know, a lot of people picked on Bush for not being sharp, and I think one reason why they thought that was that little incident that happened in the Texas primary. Well, show Bush voting. You'll see what I'm talking about. Now, keep your eye on him here. Take a look.
Good morning, everybody. How are you?
As you know, George W. Bush said the philosopher he most identifies with is Jesus Christ. And I was thinking about that. I was trying to figure out which party Jesus would belong to. You know, he could have been a Democrat because he liked working with the poor. But then he could have been a Republican because, hey, he went into his father's business, you know? So, could have gone either way. You know, it's sad, actually. I didn't enjoy seeing McCain and Bush attacking each other during the campaign. Remember the glory days of the Republican Party when they were all united against the poor and minorities? What happened there? What happened to those days? Actually, some of those debates between McCain and Bush were pretty exciting. Now, there was one where McCain really lost his time. I'm going to show you 3 little clips from the 3 debates, and, well, you'll see how these 2 men treated each other. Take a look.
They want reform. They want the government back because the people of Taiwan and the government of Taiwan recognize that the provocation of China would only lead to increase.
Sit down. Pull your head. Be quiet. Proceed to the case.
Let me say one thing about all this business, John.
I told you, I pulled them all down.
You didn't pull this ad.
Yes, I did.
This that ended up in a man's windshield yesterday?
That is not by my campaign.
Well, it says paid for by John McCain.
Then you know it's interesting. You're talking about printed material that's mailed out. I don't know who was responsible for it, but I know that the attacks go on.
It's going to hurt the Republican Party, John, and I'm worried for this reason. And let me finish. How
did Ronald Reagan get elected in 1980? There's no such thing as soft money.
May I finish?
We can stop it now. We commit that to that, and we can get the special interest money out of American politics.
There's a lot of laboring people who are
Republicans
and conservatives. And yet, under the vision you've got, and spend it the way you see fit.
You hate to see that kind of thing. Of course, Al Gore, God bless him, he has troubles too. He's got that controversial advisor, what's her name, Naomi Wolf, on the payroll. Remember, she once said she thought it might be a good idea to teach masturbation in our public schools. Well, you can see why. You know, statistics show that our high school kids are now masturbating at just the 6th grade level. Do you know that? So, we can do better, people. We can do better. Al Gore, of course, served in Vietnam. He was a journalist. He was so good he won the Leonardo DiCaprio Medal for distinguished journalism. I guess you know that. The folks at ABC couldn't be prouder. In fact, not only did Leonardo get an interview with President Clinton while he was here, he got to sketch Helen Thomas in the nude. Many people don't know that. Yeah. But God bless Al, still the best fundraiser around. Boy, you ever see him work? Show him at a school. Take a look at this.
Good for you. Give me 5. There you go. All right.
Now, if Al Gore has a problem, it's probably the fact that he's not the hippest guy around. You know, he was up there in New Hampshire. You saw him up there. He actually worked the phones himself. He got on the phones and called voters, but not always with the best results. Take a look.
Hi, it's Vice President Al Gore.
What's that?
Excuse me?
What's that? What's that?
I'm not joking.
But one thing about Al, always trying to connect with the young people. Always trying to connect. In fact, here's a product that was not particularly successful, but God bless him for trying. Take a look.
Look out! Grenade!
Hey, kids, if it's action you're looking for, go for the Gore.
Al Gore!
New Al Gore comes with a suit and debate podium grip action.
Look! He's ready to discuss foreign policy. Wow!
Al Gore says up to 50 different things.
We're the natural leader of the world. I don't think that's a chauvinist American statement. I think it's a statement of fact. People respect us as Americans because we're brave people. We try to uphold.
I don't want it!
The Al Gore action figure. It's easy to carry and can be brought on any trip.
I think that a president must have a vision of the future that is compelling enough to bring people into a common effort to bring the president.
The new Al Gore action figure. Available at all toy stores for Christmas. Podium sold separately.
Al Gore!
A bright future for our country, and I've been talking about it during this campaign.
I'll tell you something fascinating about this election. You know, you look at the fact that Bush can only answer 1 out of 4 questions, that reporter in Boston quiz. McCain made some racial slurs. Pat Buchanan wrote a book, make him look like a Nazi sympathizer. Gore hired the aide who advocates teaching masturbation. Wouldn't it be strange if we look back and one day realize, oh my God, Dan Quayle was the smart one. Huh? How frightening would that be? And let me tell you something, the Democrats, why do they constantly pick on Strom Thurmond and play tricks on Strom Thurmond? Like this little incident, you remember this, take a look.
The senators will take their seats. All the others will remove themselves from the floor. Under the previous order, and a quorum having been established, the Senate will proceed under the previous order.
There is no call for that, ladies and gentlemen. I am sorry. And of course, the First Lady is here. Now, you know, the First Lady took a lot of grief for wearing that baseball cap, but I know, right, you are a confirmed baseball fan. Didn't you sit next to Sammy Sosa at the State of the Union? Do you see? This, well, here we go. This will show you just how a confirmed baseball fan. Show that footage from the State of the Union address. There's Sammy. There you go. It doesn't get any bigger than that, ladies and gentlemen. That is a baseball fan. And God bless her, also a tireless campaigner. She did something I have never seen anyone do. Go into Grand Central Station and actually shake hands with New Yorkers. My God, and you know what happened. Well, show that footage. Take a look.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Hello. Good morning. Great day. Good morning. I'm so glad to see you up close. Thank you. Thank you. Good morning. Good morning. I've been a lot, but I'll be back.
Of course, there are all kinds of ways to finance a campaign, too. And, of course, now you can just charge it. You've probably seen this commercial.
Learning to play golf correctly
$500. Gift liquor baskets for the Democrats, $100,000. Getting a grown-up haircut, $650. Etiquette lessons, $700. Having a senator in your pocket for an NRA vote, priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard.
Now, see, the thing I want to know is, why do the ads always have to be so negative? These attack ads that the American public doesn't like. I'm going to show you a couple of ads, local ads that ran in California for some fringe candidates. And here, you be the judge.
He says he's not one of the fat cats. He denies his ties to the milk lobby. If that's true, what's he trying to cover up? Vote dog. Dog says he's smart, but every time his owner pretends to throw the ball, he falls for it. Dog says he doesn't have a drinking problem. What do you think? Vote cat. Cat. Can you really trust him? One minute he's rubbing up against your leg. The next minute he's rubbing up against the leg of a table. Cat says he can't remember anything before 1974. Do you wonder why? Vote dog. Dog. He says he stands for family values. Does this look like family values? Haven't we seen this type of behavior before? Vote cat.
I'm sorry, I had to do one. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. I'm sorry, Mr. Brown. I had to throw one in. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I feel terrible. I just had to do one. I'm sorry. It'll never happen again. Don't audit me. I don't want to go back to Cuba. Well, let me tell you, you know, as I look on, I see obviously many famous Washington correspondents. My favorite, obviously not. You know what my favorite? Oh, Charles Kuralt. I love Charles Kuralt. But see, he never got the big story, you know? Like Dan Rather, he got Nixon. Wallace, he got Vietnam. What did Charles Kuralt ever get? 3 bears came marching down Main Street today, as if to say, we're people too. See, that just... I always like how your news people are dependent on whether we're in a ratings period or not. Like now we're in a ratings period. See, normally the news is Kosovo, an 8-part series, healthcare. Can we fund it? You ever notice when May comes along, suddenly it becomes strip searches at Catholic girls' schools? Are they necessary? Housewife hookers, are they in your neighborhood and is your husband at risk? Now, of course, being a Washington correspondent is very important, a very important job, but does the average American know who their Washington correspondent is? Do they even know the Washington correspondent? The other night, 2 nights ago, I took a camera, went out, we talked to real people. I brought pictures of some of the most famous Washington correspondents in the world. And let's see if people knew who they are. Take a look. You ever seen him before?
Wasn't he in Independence Day?
Independence Day, the movie?
Yeah.
Who would he have been in that? I don't remember.
Randy Quaid.
Randy Quaid? Think he's on TV?
Yeah,
commercials?
He's probably on TV.
Yeah, what do you think he does?
Maybe infomercials?
Infomercials for donuts?
Donuts.
Donuts, yeah.
What's that lady's name? Florence?
Florence Henderson?
Henderson.
That's Florence Henderson. That's very good.
She was in that show in the 70s.
What show?
Where the rock and roll band and...
Show in the 70s.
When they would run that bus.
The Partridge Family?
Yeah.
Come on, get happy. Who's that?
Sandy Duncan.
Sandy Duncan. Sandy Duncan, very good. Which one's the good eye?
This is the one on the right.
One on the right.
I don't know. She looks like Rosie O'Donnell.
Rosie O'Donnell?
Yeah.
She looks like Kathy Bates, but I guess it isn't.
Mm-hmm. No, not Kathy Bates. What do you think she does?
Give people a hard time.
Gives people a hard time.
Oh, gosh. Jack Kevorkian, maybe?
Jack Kevorkian.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He looks like Jack Hammond. But I
Who?
don't think it's Jack Hammond.
Jack Hammond?
Jurassic Park, the guy.
Oh, the Jurassic Park guy. You got it.
That's not Regis, is it?
Yeah, you got it.
Nope. Are these famous people?
That's what we're trying to find out.
That's Bob Barker.
Bob Barker from The Price is Right.
Yeah. Oh, she's hot. That's Lucy Liu from Ally McBeal.
Exactly.
That's the one that was in Basic Instinct. What was her name?
Sharon
Stone.
Sharon Stone. Do you remember her face from Basic Instinct?
Yeah, it looks like her.
Yeah.
That's like Sharon Stone.
What do you think he does?
Oh, he's an actor.
Actor, yeah.
It's the guy from 007, isn't it?
007, Pierce Brosnan?
Yeah, there you go.
Very good, you got it.
Are there any black people in here?
No.
That's Dan Aykroyd.
Dan Aykroyd.
Is that Harrison Ford?
Close.
Close.
He wishes.
King.
Martin. Martin Luther King.
Is that Linda Tripp?
Linda Tripp. That's right.
Yeah?
That is Linda Tripp.
Oh,
Boy,
Cripes.
you got it. You know your politics.
Still no black people.
No. What kind of? There may be here. There might be some
That's
black
why
people.
they call it the White House.
Okay. Ellen DeGeneres. No.
Very close. Very close. Folks, one last thing. Now, you know, you've all picked on President Clinton, but how do White House correspondents behave? Like, you see them out front there, and they got the nice suit or the raincoat, and they're doing the little stand-up thing. But when you take a White House correspondent, you send him to California. Suppose he doesn't know the camera's on him. Suppose he stopped by the Tonight Show. How would he behave? Take a look. I don't think we want to see Wolf get naked. Okay, that's about enough of that. Ladies and gentlemen, say what an honor and a thrill this has been. And President Clinton, thank you, and the First Lady for being terrific sports. And boy, you know, if you want a president, you'd be a great comic. Boy, you have a good sense of timing. From one comic to another, you were really, really funny. So God bless you, sir. God bless the First Lady. Thank you all. Thankfully, talk to you tonight. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Jay Leno. Finally, our thanks tonight to the person who organizes this dinner so well, Julia Whiston, the Executive Director of the White House Correspondents Association. And our thanks to you for joining us tonight. We invite you to stay and attend the receptions being hosted by news organizations in the hotel. We would ask you to remain in your seats until the President and First Lady, escorted by our new President and Vice President, have left the room. We hope you've enjoyed the evening. Good night.